And right now at 5, it's not a problem yet, but it could become one very quickly. How doctors say we can still stop the spread of the dangerous Delta variant here in Wisconsin.
A shooting that police are calling a vicious execution, killing a man simply pumping gas in Racine County today. The latest on what police say happened.
The big lie is just that, a big lie.
And later, President Biden calls new voting laws an assault on democracy. How Texas Democrats are trying to do something about it.
This is News 3 Now at 5.
And thanks for staying with us. It is calm right now, but you'll want to consider maybe keeping a close eye on the weather tomorrow.
We have the potential for some severe storms rolling into just about all of southern Wisconsin. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti is on the weather patio. Gary?
Well, Susan, doesn't seem like we'd have the potential for severe weather right now, although the humidity level is high. We will see the potential for severe weather tomorrow, though. There is an alert day in the forecast for severe thunderstorms that could produce heavy rain, high winds, hail, and maybe even an isolated tornado. As we take a look at the severe weather outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, we're under a level 3 risk, or an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms over all of southern Wisconsin. That's actually been expanded a little bit with the latest forecast. Right now, some thunderstorms to our north and west across northwestern Wisconsin and central Minnesota. Those will stay below severe limits, but that's the area that we'll watch for tomorrow for storms to move in. Right now on visible cloud track, we've had clouds for much of the day, but now the sun has come out, and with the humidity, the temperatures have jumped right back up. We're at 81 degrees in Madison. You can see temperatures in the middle 80s out to the west, where they've had the benefit of a little more sunshine. And dew point temperatures are now in the low to mid 60s, but they'll be in the low 70s by tomorrow, and that's what'll fuel those storms. So look for temperatures to only drop to about 67 overnight with mostly clear skies. Tomorrow, afternoon thunderstorms. That's when the best chances for severe weather will be, with a high of 84. More details on what we can expect and the timing on those storms a little bit later on in the newscast.
Gary, thank you. You can stay ahead of tomorrow's storms by downloading our First Warn Forecast Weather app. It has hourly forecasts, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
All right, 48% of Wisconsin, that's nearly 2.8 million people, are now said to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19, but doctors say we are not moving the needle if we're only getting 5,000 vaccinations a day, and right now the 7-day average is less than 5,400. And if more shots don't go into arms, experts say new strains of COVID will continue to spread. That Delta variant already taking hold in some parts of the U.S., but not Wisconsin, at least not yet. And Jamie Perez explains what a new study is telling us about this contagious strain.
Right now in Wisconsin, we're averaging about 115 new COVID cases per day. Of those, about 1 person per day is dying. That's according to the Department of Health Services. Most of the deaths are happening to those who are unvaccinated, and a lot of this is because of the Delta variant.
Kind of the real deal. It's a little bit concerning if you're unvaccinated.
Doctors and medical professionals see the growing impacts the Delta variant is having on more and more communities.
There's some studies that show that it's a bit more dangerous, maybe even twice as likely to land you in a hospital.
The study Dr. Jeff Pothoff is referencing shows that people infected with the Delta variant had 1,000 times more copies of the virus in their respiratory tracts than the original virus.
One of the ways that we could explain why it's so much more infectious than our other strains is because people who are infected probably are able to spread many more copies of that virus than folks with regular COVID.
DHS Deputy Secretary Julie Williams Van Dyke says it's spreading in other states and could happen here too.
And in places like Southwest Missouri and Arkansas, we are seeing COVID disease surges that are once again overfilling hospital beds and ICUs beyond capacity.
Medical experts say it's the people who are unvaccinated that are giving the virus opportunities to mutate. In Missouri, just shy of 50% of people are fully vaccinated, but the state only tracks people 18 and up. In Wisconsin, 48% of the entire state is fully vaccinated, still short of what doctors want to see.
Delta variant is not only more transmissible, but it is also affecting people who have previously had COVID.
Pothoff says when it comes down to 2 choices, getting the vaccine or getting sick with COVID,
orders of magnitude more dangerous to get the disease than it is to get the vaccine.
Medical experts are still driving that message home to please get vaccinated. They say at this point, every COVID-19 death is a preventable one. For News 3 Now, I'm Jamie Perez.
Public Health Madison-Dane County says it has found 27 cases of the Delta variant in Dane County. None of those patients, though, have been hospitalized.
A new Washington Post ABC News poll shows fewer than half of Republicans have or plan to receive the COVID-19 vaccine. That's compared to 93% of Democrats. But here in Wisconsin, the issue isn't so black and white. UW political science professor Mike Wagner has been studying COVID-19 behavior since last fall. He says partisanship more than race, age, income, or any other factor is the biggest predictor of COVID vaccination. However, in Republican-leaning suburbs where people voted for former President Trump, many people are still getting vaccinated.
People in those areas have a little bit of a richer information diet. They're more likely to be newspaper readers. They're more likely to look at information that's not just from their own ideological side.
And that's where you come in. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll learn why doctors say they are not the best messengers for vaccines, but you might be.
A gas station execution leaves one man dead in Racine County this morning.
And police say the shooter was later shot and killed at a different gas station. Brady Mallory joins us now with what officers are saying. Brady?
Well, this all started at about 7:30 this morning in Caledonia at a pilot travel center. Police say a 32-year-old man from Heartland, Wisconsin, went up to a 22-year-old man from Elkhorn. He was just putting gas in his car when police say he was viciously executed. Officers say the shooter got back in his car and shot at another person as he was driving away. That person's expected to be okay. The shooter then drove to a different gas station in Caledonia where an undercover investigator with the sheriff's office started shooting at him and killed him.
It should be noted, ladies and gentlemen, this is 7:30 in the morning at this mobile station. It was bustling with activity, people getting their gas and people getting their morning cup of coffee. There is no doubt in my mind the quick and heroic actions of our investigator saved lives today.
Well, the undercover cop was also hit. He was taken to a hospital in Racine and is expected to live. The Wisconsin Division of Criminal Investigation is leading the investigation.
All right, Brady, thank you. 24 vehicles were stopped yesterday for speeding on one of Madison's most dangerous streets. Madison PD says 24 people were ticketed on East Washington Avenue. One car drove off from a stop. All of them are traveling at least 14 miles per hour over the 25-mile-per-hour speed limit. In a special report tomorrow on News 3 Now at 10, Naomi Coles will look into traffic issues there, how police are boosting enforcement.
Tomorrow marks 1 month since the chem tool fire in Rockton, Illinois. And for the first time in nearly 2 weeks, we're hearing from city leaders. Officials say data collected from air and water quality monitors shows there are no concerns about contaminants.
I'm grateful to our Public Works Department for their quick action in protecting our water and our sewer, and of their testing of our water to make sure it's safe to drink.
Chemtool is one of the largest producers of grease, which caused the fire to burn for nearly a week. Evacuation orders were also in place for nearby residents for nearly 72 hours. The village says it has set up a special email account to help answer questions from residents.
New tonight, State Democratic Party Chair Ben Wickler says expanded child tax credits will help parents around Wisconsin. Wickler hosted a virtual roundtable this morning. The new monthly payments for eligible working families are expected to start going out later this week. They were created by Congress earlier this year and as part of the American Rescue Plan. And the city of Madison is launching a new website to provide information on its allocation of money from the American Rescue Plan. The city also says it'll host 2 information sessions to talk about the budget process later this month. And you can register for those on the website cityofmadison.com/ARPA.
A group that could only look at a cardboard cutout today, but someday soon we could actually see a statue, an actual statue of Vel Phillips outside of the state capitol. Phillips' son joined the subcommittee, which is tasked with trying to make that happen.
They look up and they see this statue of a person. Who is that? And, you know, they look and they read a little bit of the inscription, and then they Google her. And then they find out that this is a person who has fought for the rights of all Wisconsinites.
The committee toured various spots on the Capitol grounds, but their preferred location is outside of the South Hamilton Street entrance. Phillips was Wisconsin's first African-American Secretary of State and a civil rights leader. She died in 2018. Her son says it's a complicated process to get state approval. Rules say no new statues can be added to the Capitol, but a committee recommendation and legislative approval would overrule that. Charlottesville, Virginia is almost done with its statue removal project. 2 stone bases of 2 Confederate statues were removed this afternoon. Over the weekend, the city moved bronze statues of Generals Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson. Those statues are being stored in a secure location until the city council decides what to do with them. The project comes less than 4 years after a violent and deadly white nationalist rally in support of keeping the statues.
Election season still a long ways off, but a seat in the Dane County Board of Supervisors is up for grabs today. The District 19 chair includes Sun Prairie. The winner of today's election will replace Taryn Peterson, who resigned from the board in April. Political newcomers Kristen Morris and Timothy Rockwell are running in today's race. The election only applies to roughly 10,000 eligible voters.
I'd say that absentee balloting is still continuing to be pretty popular. It's been a long time since we've had to do a special election, so I can't speak as to how good our turnout is. But we have been able to relax a lot of the rules. We don't have a mask requirement anymore.
There's also a special election today for State Assembly District 37, and we'll have an update on these races tonight on News 3 Now at 10. Some states are trying to make it more difficult to vote.
Next at 5, the step that Texas Democrats are taking to stop new laws in their state and see how much support they're getting from the White House. And there's more local news ahead coming up tonight at 6, why one of the biggest names in stand-up comedy coming to Madison is causing so much backlash. We'll have that story tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
And after record highs yesterday on Wall Street, all 3 markets took a tumble today. The Dow dropping 107 points. The S&P lost 15. The Nasdaq down nearly 56. And we'll be right back.
It's time to invest in care. I care for seniors and people with disabilities so that they can live in their homes. That lets their families go to work. Joe Biden's American Jobs Plan will give working families the support they need and jumpstart our economy.
It's better wages and benefits and opportunities for caregivers who are disproportionately women of color, and immigrants.
Tell Congress to pass Biden's plan and invest in care jobs now, because care is essential.
SEIU is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Erectile dysfunction for men of all ages has become much more common. In fact, most men don't realize that 90% of erectile dysfunction is a direct result of broken down old blood vessels. This causes a lack of blood flow that is critical when achieving an erection. With our state-of-the-art technology, we're able to stimulate new stem cell growth right in our office, with no pills, no needles, no surgery, and no pain.
To book your consultation and get back to natural functionability, call Peak Performance for Men today.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Finding the right ingredients for a healthy lifestyle can be tricky. That's why SSM Health and News 3 Now are here to help.
Our Time for Kids recipe for health experts use online conversations and on-air reports to answer your health questions.
So tell us, what topics would your family like to hear about? What questions do you have?
Use the handy feedback form on our Time for Kids page to share what matters most to your family's health. And together,
let's take time for kids.
Watch your favorite local programming for free with RCA. Menards carries a great selection of HD digital antennas, accessory cables, universal remotes, and more. An RCA antenna lets you watch all of your favorite local broadcast channels in HD for free. Never miss a moment of live entertainment or relax in the evenings with something you're familiar with. Stop into Menards today and get 11% off all RCA antennas and accessories.
Save big money at Menards.
Tonight at 6, the state Supreme Court suspends a circuit judge for inappropriate behavior in the courtroom. And a high-profile comedy show coming to Madison later this summer is getting some pushback. The controversy at 6.
News 3 Now's Call for Action gets answers when you can't.
A COVID patient's care jeopardized by insurance denials. After we contacted Aetna, the company reversed course.
News 3 Now's Call for Action, taking action for you. You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
There's an unfolding assault taking place in America today, an attempt to suppress and subvert the right to vote and fair and free elections.
President Biden says Republicans are destroying democracy, and Texas Democrats are in Washington, D.C. tonight trying to save it.
And Texas state lawmakers left their post last night and took a flight to the nation's capital. They say it's their only way to stop some of their state's restrictive voting proposals from being passed.
We are not going to buckle to the big lie in the state of Texas, the big lie that has resulted in anti-democratic legislation throughout the United States.
The Democratic lawmakers haven't said when they plan to go back to Texas, but when they do, they could be arrested. The State House Speaker says arrest warrants were authorized today since they didn't have a legitimate excuse to not attend the special session on voting rights.
Members, the sergeants at arms and any officers appointed by him are directed to send for all absentees whose attendance is not excused for the purpose of securing and maintaining their attendance, under warrant of arrest if necessary.
Vice President Kamala Harris is backing the Democrats' move, saying they are showing extraordinary courage and commitment. Texas Republican governor says he will keep calling for a special session until the voting laws pass.
Next tonight, Boeing has a new headache for its 787 Dreamliner. The manufacturer says some of its planes are having an issue with its joints. Boeing says it's working with the FAA to correct the problem for about 100 of its planes, but it's going to delay plans to get most of those jets into the hands of airlines by the end of the year. Several of the planes were grounded last summer due to similar issues. A massive wildfire out west keeps growing tonight. The bootleg fire in Oregon is now more than 150,000 acres and 0% contained. After 3 days of explosive growth, crews today were able to build and improve fire control lines. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canulty is here with more on an alert day tomorrow. Gary?
Yeah, Susan, we haven't had very much severe weather this year at all. I mean, we didn't have our first severe thunderstorm warning in southern Wisconsin until the middle of June. But tomorrow, we could probably have as much severe weather as we've had so far for the entire season. There is an alert day in the forecast for the potential for severe thunderstorms, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. Heavy rain, hail, high winds, the main threats. There could be a couple of isolated tornadoes. There also could be some lines of thunderstorms that could bring the potential for a little more widespread wind damage if they occur. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Storm Prediction Center has an enhanced risk of severe thunderstorms, or a level 3 on the 5-level scale, across all of southern Wisconsin into northern Illinois, northern Iowa, and southeastern portions of Minnesota. So we're right in the bullseye of this severe weather activity for tomorrow. Right now, there are a few minor showers and thunderstorms up across northwestern Wisconsin into central Minnesota. These will fizzle out. It's actually along a weak cold front that'll probably become stationary and wait for another storm system out to the west to come back in that direction, and then really start to make the atmosphere more unstable as time goes on. Visible cloud track, you can see there was quite a bit of cloud cover earlier today, and that cloud cover has moved out. I'm actually on the wrong graphic here, so I'm going to have to switch over to get to the right graphic. Hang on one second here, bear with me. We will switch over. Come on. Let's see. There we go. I wanted to show the severe weather outlook for tomorrow. So here we go. So here is the radar situation now, and I showed you the severe weather outlook. But here are the main areas that we have to watch out for the severe thunderstorms. High wind, probably the biggest potential. And again, if those lines of thunderstorms develop, that's what we have to watch out for. And again, most of this enhanced risk area is in that high wind threat. The hail threat a little bit lower, a slight risk, or about a 15% chance of large hail within about 25 miles of a point, or about the size of a county. And then the tornado threat a little bit lower than that, but still a little bit higher than we normally see. About a 5% chance in this area here of a tornado within about 25 miles of a point. Heavy rain, also the potential. The last 5 days, very little rain here in southern Wisconsin. Just south of us, some heavier rain across parts of Illinois. And then look at the heavy rain that fell across parts of Iowa. 2 to 5 inches in some areas. And the latest computer model forecast shows some pockets of perhaps 2 or more or 3 to 5 inches of rain in some spots that get the heavier thunderstorms. So for tomorrow, a high of 84, but the thunderstorms will fire up in the afternoon. And you can see this on Future Track. Quiet tonight, quiet for the morning hours tomorrow. And then you can see this first line of thunderstorms sweeping through in the afternoon. More thunderstorms following tomorrow night into early on Thursday morning. And then maybe a few more on Thursday afternoon before everything winds down. Again, pockets of heavy rain, maybe as much as 2 to 3 or more inches of rain in some areas. Most areas about a ½ inch to an inch of rain. And then that alert day in the forecast for Wednesday. But after the thunderstorms end on Thursday, a dry forecast beginning on Friday and lasting through pretty much all of next week. There'll be some days that'll be a little more humid, but right now it looks like they're going to stay rain-free. As we check out first warn traffic right now, again, with the construction on the Beltline, we have the usual delays starting around Monona Drive, heading back to around Verona Road on the eastbound Beltline. Westbound delays start around Fish Hatchery Road, going back to John Nolan Drive. Travel times right now, about a 7-minute increase from the normal time either way on the Beltline between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison, a normal 25 minutes from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990. On US 12 for Biddle to Sauk City, it'll take you 16 minutes. And downtown to Sun Prairie on East Washington Avenue and US 151 is a 17-minute commute. That's your News 3 Now First Warn traffic.
Gary, thank you. All eyes will be back on Milwaukee again tomorrow night. Game 4 of the NBA Finals. After the break, we'll reflect on the long journey to make Fiserv Forum a reality and how it might just pay off with a trophy.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. You can still enjoy our award-winning steak dinners with our new takeout and delivery service. We call it the High Point Steakout. Call in your order today.
At General Heating and Air Conditioning, your comfort is important to us. From keeping you cozy warm to cooling you off with the ultra-quiet, energy-efficient Carrier Infinity Home Comfort System. Plus, join our free home comfort program and keep your air conditioner and furnace running at peak performance year after year. Enjoy priority service and extra savings that really add up. Celebrating 75 years of providing award-winning comfort for your home. Turn to the experts, Carrier and General Heating and Air Conditioning.
The light at the end of the tunnel isn't shining so brightly for everyone. Families continue to fight for survival. Some jobs are gone forever. Bills pile up. But please know, you have not been forgotten. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
He's here! He's here! It's happening!
What can I get you, young man?
Free installation!
Coming right up.
Feldco's biggest sale of the year. Free installation. Plus, no interest until 2023.
Free installation on windows, siding, and doors ends soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Here at TSR, we transform old, cracked concrete floors into beautiful, tough floors in just one day. Hi, I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings, and here at TSR, we don't just simply coat over your old concrete. We grind it down, repair it, apply the base coat and chip, and then seal it with our own proprietary sealant that will never chip or peel. All of our coatings are covered by our exclusive lifetime warranty, so you can rest assured that your beautiful new floor will last. Our awesome team is here to answer all of your questions before and after the installation. And right now, we are offering 15% off your new floor coating until the end of the year. Visit the website or call that number below for your new floor today.
TSR, one day floor.
Call 1-800-886-8411.
High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. but you can still enjoy our award-winning steak dinners with our new takeout and delivery service. We call it the High Point Steakhouse. Call in your order today.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Tomorrow night, these are the scenes we're going to see again in Milwaukee. The big party, the Bucks try to even up their NBA Final Series with the Suns at 2 games apiece. Over the past month, thousands of fans, we've seen them filling the Deer District for each playoff game, making it one of the biggest parties in the city.
But when negotiations first started on the deal for the Bucks' new arena, all of this was only a dream. Our news partners at WDJT in Milwaukee reflect on the hard work it took to make it happen, despite some thinking that it never would.
The Bucks have built a community within a community.
We really kind of had this vision of the district being the living room for the city of Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin. And you don't have to imagine it. It actually happens.
President Peter Fagan watched his team dominate in Game 3 with pride in their own city.
Other than winning a championship game, probably the second most important game in Bucks history.
Also key to Bucks history, the team's arena. 3 years after it opened, it's on display in living rooms across America.
Make no mistake, we built Fiserv to be a showplace, to be a destination. This is the example of best of class in the world.
Former Governor Scott Walker signed the deal in 2015. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley was a legislative staffer at the time.
It was a tough battle to get this piece of legislation through when you think about getting so many people on board because nobody understood what this meant.
It was just dormant, vacant land in the middle of our downtown for a very long time, and before that it was an underused freeway.
Jim Barry was on a task force trying to attract development to the Park East corridor a decade ago. The NBA said the Bradley Center was unfit, so former Senator Herb Kohl proposed building a new arena.
The owners of the Bucks, I think, again, very foresightedly looked at not just having a stadium, as the Bradley Center was, but in developing the whole area into a district.
And it's flourishing, bringing fans far and wide.
Just getting to see this stadium up close and personal has been invigorating, fun.
And proving naysayers wrong.
And even those who didn't believe and didn't want this to happen, I think they're starting to see the economic impact of what this means for us, but also the morale of this community.
Work on Fiserv Forum isn't quite done yet. A boutique hotel and other developments will be coming to the Deer District in the next few years. The Tokyo Olympics will get started in just 10 days, and Jill Biden will be there. The White House confirmed the First Lady's travel plans today. Last week, the administration said it was deciding if her trip would even be possible due to COVID concerns. This year's games will have no spectators at any Olympic events. We'll have a final check on your first warn forecast after a short break.
A truck ran a red light and slammed into Liz's car.
As soon as we got out of the hospital, we called Gruber Law Offices immediately.
One call, that's all.
They were phenomenal. They got our life back on track, and I couldn't be any more happier.
Is your credit score getting in the way of the things you want to do? Personal loans through NetCredit offer fast and flexible lending. Borrow up to $10,000 and choose repayment terms that work for you. You may even be able to build your credit history as you repay. NetCredit, a more personal loan.
It's time again to roll up your sleeves and head to Blaine's Farm and Fleet. We're your summer lawn and garden experts, offering genuine values on everything you need to make, maintain, and enjoy your ideal yard. Like estate lawn or garden fertilizer, just $19.99. Rewards members get a free $10 gift card with an $80 estate fertilizer purchase. Get 10% off Rust-Oleum Stops Rust products. And Blaine's Farm and Fleet's black oil sunflower seeds, just $9.99.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
No more Freon for your AC. Oh no, the homeowner's called Action Man and his action team.
Call on Action Plumbing, Heating, and Electric at iwantactionnow.com.
Discover what's in store at Habitat Restore Dane County. You'll find something new every time you visit to keep your project on budget with low price and high quality home supplies. For one-of-a-kind items, shop Habitat Restore Dane County today.
All Denny's pancakes are made to order with fresh buttermilk, but this month's Spotlight Stack is a patriot. Fresh, sweet, and full of freedom. New red, white, and blue pancakes. This month's Spotlight Stack. See you at Denny's.
I'm Scott the Window Guy with AHT Wisconsin Windows. Our solid core. Sorry everyone, I get a notification every time I get a positive review online.
Makeup.
Thanks, Dawn. We think our windows are pretty great too.
Take two.
I'm Scott the Window Guy with AHT Wisconsin Windows. Our solid core, composite frame, triple pane windows are worth a positive review at scottthewindowguy.com.
Cut! Somebody give me his phone.
And seriously? Here's the thing. When you create a network as a local, you know the dead spots, so you fix them. You know the neighbors, so you're good to them. Did you drop these? You know the strongest signal comes from starting local and staying loyal, no matter how much you grow. The nationwide network built from your town up. Right now, get up to $1,200 off any 5G phone. No trade-in required or hidden fees. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. One call, that's all.
Coming up on the CBS Evening News, the dangerous weather. Millions of Americans under threat of triple-digit temperatures as wildfires out west set records. Plus, just when Americans need a vacation most, why hotel prices and airfares are skyrocketing. What you should know before you try and book your getaway. And the Emmy goes to, wait till you hear who was nominated for this year's historic Emmy Awards. That's all tonight on the CBS Evening News.
Gary's back. Final check of the forecast.
Well, finally we got some sunshine. It was cloudy for much of the day, but there's a live view from the WISC Skycam, the Platteville Queeby Radio Skycam. A little hazy there, but still plenty of sunshine. There's a severe weather threat for tomorrow, though, an enhanced risk, level 3 for all of southern Wisconsin. Right now, a few thunderstorms across Minnesota and Iowa, far northwestern Wisconsin. We won't see those until tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures are in the upper 70s and low 80s. Dew points are in the 60s. Look for a low tonight of about 67. High tomorrow, 84. Thunderstorms in the afternoon. We have an alert day. More storms on Thursday with a high of 77. But look what happens after that. It's like somebody just flips a switch. We go dry beginning on Friday and through all of next week. There might be a little more humidity on a few days, but nothing to generate rain. So hopefully we get some decent rain out of this, because a week of dry weather, you know, doesn't help the drought situation.
All right, but keep a close eye on things for us. Stay with us tomorrow. It is an alert day, and we'll be back in 30 minutes. More news. A news screen now at 6. Stay tuned now for the CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell.